All right, so let's begin our practice today. Lie down on your back. It's a yin class, of course. Bend your knees, step your feet up to the mat, and cross your right leg over your left leg. This is twisted root. Now you cross the legs as if you're wearing a mini skirt, so their knees are stacked on top of each other. If you want to, twisted root, if you're able, you can cross the legs twice. Right? Remember, the right leg's on top, and then drop both legs over to the left. Keep the legs crossed, arms out like wings. Turn your head to the right and bring in the breath. This is 2.5 minutes. All the poses are timed. Make sure you're breathing in and out at least twice as deep as you normally do, in and out through the nose. If I haven't gone over your breathing, if you received a breathing guide, I will go over your breathing sometime soon. So we're finishing up the 9th chapter today of the Bhagavad-gita, a reading commentary from Swami Satchidananda. When we start class next Tuesday, we'll start on the 10th chapter. And of course, the Bhagavad-gita is an allegory for the war that goes on in your mind every day. It's been going on since the beginning of humanity between your true self, the eternal, blissful, all-knowing true self, and your ego, your intellect, your brain. Your true self whispers to you, when are you going to start doing this? When are you going to start doing that? And your ego says, I'll do what I want when I want, or I'll wait. Let's wait till next year, or I'll get around to it. The king in the Bhagavad-gita, represented by 100 suns, he's blind. That is a metaphor for all the pleasures in life that we seek. Blinded, thinking that we're going to find pleasure around the corner. But the key to the word pleasure is lasting joy, lasting blissfulness. The other character in the Bhagavad-gita is Krishna. He's simply a representation of the spiritual realm. You can give any name you wish, that the creator of the universe has an infinite number of names. So don't read too much into just the name. But before I read, I wanted to frame a little bit for you. You want to keep in mind there are 4 types of existences in this plane of existence. Your waking hours, which you're doing right now. You're sleeping and dreaming. When you're sleeping, you're dreaming, or you're not dreaming. So that's 3 levels of existence. Your waking hours, you're sleeping, but you're dreaming, and you're sleeping and not dreaming. We don't talk about the 4th level, or the 4th experience, which is meditation. Let's find happy baby. Happy baby, the bottoms of your feet facing the ceiling. Try to bend the knees and grab the outside of the feet. As you breathe, you can pull the feet away from each other. You can tick-tock them front to back. As one foot pulls to your head, the other pushes to your butt. Make sure you're breathing. You can also bend the knees exclusive of each other. One knee can bend, the other can straighten. The breath is nice and deep. So we have a young country, America is. We don't talk much about meditation. The Bhagavad-gita talks about meditation throughout the book. The supreme goal in all of life is to discover your true self. Half of that supreme goal could be to at least acknowledge, at least embrace the fact that you are an eternal spirit, blissful and all-knowing, and life gets a lot easier. Let's begin with twisted root to the other side. So bring your left leg on top of your right and drop the legs to the right, arms out like wings, head turning left, and the breath is deep. 2.5 minutes. So remember, we've all been equipped with sophisticated equipment. Your consciousness, arguably the most powerful force in the universe, Have you ever thought about someone and a couple hours later they show up or they call? Anytime, yeah. Oh yeah, anytime you have a problem you need solved, you may not get the answer until the next day or two, but it always gets solved, which means, like we say, we're all knowing. But don't forget your pineal gland. Every night when you dream, that sophisticated piece of equipment right between your eyes. And that's also your meditative gland. And then of course there's Saturn, Jupiter, Mars, Venus, Mercury chakras, and the 1,000-petaled lotus at the crown of your head. But many groups throughout the world frown on you using your sophisticated equipment to discover your true self, or to find union with the spiritual realm, the creator of the universe. But all throughout history, all the masters, avatars, rishis, saints, seers, and mystics have all told us the kingdom is within. Seek the kingdom first. So our reading today from chapter 9, Yoga of the Regal Science and the Royal Secret. And the royal secret is that you are in fact eternal spirit. Our shloka reads, no matter your birth, your race, your sex, your caste, even if you're scorned by others, if you take refuge in me, then certainly you will attain the supreme goal. The refuge in me can be interpreted as the creator, but refuge could also be in you. Take refuge in meditation, discover yourself, and as I read, you will attain the supreme goal. Let's release for one more minute to Happy Baby. Make sure you're continuing to breathe, Kay, as you try to grab the outside of the feet. Pull the feet away from each other. Tick-tock them front to back. So you guys don't have to be so quiet in the Yin class. I've got the microphone. It doesn't pick up your voice. So you can feel free, Nanette Palmer, Jan, Elizabeth, to express yourself every now and then. No, you can interact. If this was a movie, of course, you'd have a boom, right? A microphone right above your head, and we can pick everything up. All right, let's make your way to your forearms. So you're going to come up like this. Legs are straight. Bring your right ankle on top of the left knee, above it, as you bend that right leg. And then bend the left leg. From here, keep the ankle where it is. Try and come up. Fingers pointing away is most comfortable. Okay, you should feel that right hip. Now, lay your head back. As you inhale, lift the heart and arch the back. Each time you inhale and the heart lifts, you should get some more energy in that hip. Remember, running through the hip joints, right? Starting in the toe tips. Through the toe joints, ankle joints, knees and hips, your lower meridians, stomach, spleen, gallbladder, urinary bladder, kidney and liver meridians. So yoga can help transform you if you're trying to become a stronger spiritual person, as we'll read about today from Swami Satchidananda. So our shloka, no matter what your birth, race, sex, or caste, even if you're scorned by others, if you take refuge in me, or if you meditate, seeking your true self, you'll certainly attain the supreme goal. Once a wonderful Catholic sister took me to a Trappist monastery to give a talk to the brother monks. From what I understand, a Trappist monastery, they practice silence, a lot of silence. But she wasn't allowed to come in. So here's Swami Satchidananda, escorted by a Catholic sister. She wasn't allowed to come in with the brother monks. She had to stay outside while they received me. I was looking for a good opportunity to ask them about this. As they took me into the courtyard, there I saw a beautiful garden. In the middle of the garden there was a nice pedestal, and on the pedestal was a very old statue of Mother Mary. 16th century statue, they said, and showed it proudly. I went to the mother and paid my loving respects. Then I said, Father, how could she come in here? What do you mean, he asked. Don't you see? She's a woman. And he's referring to the statue of Mother Mary. Let's release. Straighten the left leg, right? Straighten the left leg, but leave the right leg. We're going to pull the right leg a little bit to the left with your left hand and try to sit up straight and tall. Your right hand drops in line with the right hip. Look straight ahead, and for the next minute and a half, see if you can find a lateral bend to your right. To your right. Breath is deep. Don't forget to drop the ear toward the shoulder. Bend the bottom arm. We typically don't do lateral bends longer than a minute and a half. Swamiji, don't tease us. I don't understand. So this is Swami Satchidananda, but the father called him Swamiji, added a J-I. That's simply a token of respect. I could call Marie G, or Nanette G, or Kathy G. It's just a token of respect. Swamiji, don't tease us. I don't understand. Father, a woman brought me here. You keep her out. But here's a woman you're adoring, referring to the stone statue. They looked at each other. Swamiji, we understand what you mean. We hesitate to break the traditional pattern. And sometimes we have traditional patterns of thinking, don't we? And we hesitate to break them to make a change in our thought processes. Father, it has to be done one day or another. Why not today? So we read to you, even if you're scorned, right? Many people around the world are treated poorly.
Was that the end of the story?
That's not the end of the story. We're going to transition first, and I'll finish the story. You can release. Come up to seated. The right leg is still on top of the left. That's your left leg. Now, as I pull that right foot with my left hand, I'm tipping forward. I'm trying to get forward. Because now from here you can put one or both hands to the toes. Release the head down. You could grab the ankle, the calf as well. And if you're a little bit too uncomfortable, I'll be happy to bring you a strap. Very good.
Does using the strap slow down the process?
No, straps are fine. Using a strap could get you more of a forward fold. I like to make sure you're at least grabbing something because there's enough leverage there to get some reasonable depth. So again, we can't let her in, right? And sometimes our egos. You might see someone on the street corner. You might see someone in the store. and we separate from them. But remember, yoga teaches divinity is everywhere. Divinity is in everyone, and we're all one. Immediately they went into another room and had a board meeting. Within 15 minutes they came back. Swamiji, you won. We've already sent a father to go and bring the sister. She will come and attend your talk. But please don't force us to take her to our living quarters. There's no need for her to come to your living section, Swamiji replied, but this is a public place. I'm giving a talk. Actually, she's the one who invited me. Naturally, she'd appreciate an opportunity to hear me. Immediately, the father went to the door and invited the sister to come in. What do you mean by this? She said. Do you really want me to come in? Yes, sister. What a miracle, she said. I think the Swami must have done something here. For the first time in the Trappist monastery history, a lady walked in. So the first time can be for you or for me, breaking with tradition, right? Some of the things that have been handed down to us, some of the thought process we're working, some of the ways that our mind has a tendency to move toward, we need to perhaps break with that tradition. And that's what yoga is all about. Okay, you can gently come out. Now you have a full minute to counterpose taffy. You can do seated spinal twists, right? You can do lying down, moving spinal twists. You can do arch pose. You can do anything, right? You can hug the knees, just whatever is most comfortable. So many people throughout the world are treated and scorned. And that's too bad. If everyone would meditate utilizing their sophisticated equipment, they would learn that we're all one. As I'm going to read to you at the end of class from Srinam Karoli Baba, the whole universe is your home. All are your family. Let's begin the other side as you enthusiastically come up to your forearms. Bend your left knee, place the left ankle just above your right knee, and then come up with straight arms. Come on up. As you find some energy in that left hip, so bend that left knee, Barbara. That right knee, bend the right knee. Perfect. As you find energy in that right hip, lay the head back. Each time you inhale, lift the heart and energize that hip. Exactly. Energizing can be pain or pleasure. And in the Yin class, you could move in and out of both. If you point your fingers away from you, it might make it a little easier to sustain your weight. How's that left hip? How's that left hip? Now how is it? I don't want to hurt you though. So this is modified pigeon. Sometimes we do it lying down on our back. Today I've chosen to do it from seated because you can compound the move, right? You can lift the heart and get a little bit of awareness into that back as well. So why do we dream, right? We were talking about the 4 states of existence. Your waking state, your sleeping state, whether you're dreaming or not, it's three states of existence. Dream state, not dreaming state, waking. And then, of course, the meditative state. But according to Yogananda, the reason we dream, we don't have to dream. We have that pineal gland, though, right? The reason we dream is that it helps us to understand that when you wake up from the dream, it's no longer a reality to you. And the same thing, when you die, the dream is over. But the meditative state is a state you should explore. That's the spiritual reality of eternity. Let's come out. Now, if you remember from last time, that right leg can straighten. The left leg, just pull it over to the right. But you're going to try to sit up tall, right? And then your left hand to the left hip area. Look straight ahead. Find a lateral bend to your left for 1.5 minutes. So you're looking straight ahead. Susan, you're looking right at me. The ear dropping. And you can bend the bottom elbow. Bend the elbow. There, now let the, okay. What's that, Palmer?
Regular yoga practice is better than coming once every third time.
Come when you can, and that's great.
Just saying, I can feel a difference as opposed had I been here.
You can release. So I kept you an extra 4 seconds. Sorry. Okay, if you remember from last time, right, that left leg now could pull with the right hand. You could pull the left foot back. As you're pulling back that left foot, you can tip forward. Maybe you get one or both hands to the toes, releasing down, or grab the ankle to the shin, or use the strap. Okay, Patrice, you can now release. Everybody join Patrice, you can release. Move any way you want for 1 minute to release any tension that you might have. But you only get 1 minute, and I mean it. I mean business. So we've all had a Yin Yoga class, so it'll be a quieter class today. When we get someone new to Yin, we go over all the benefits. If you're new to this video, you can catch some other Yin classes where I go over the benefits. While you're waiting this last 20 seconds to come into the next sequence, see if you can locate your block. Okay, you're going to be standing. As you locate your block, enthusiastically come up to kneeling. Ankle stretches. Now if your knees are sensitive, you can fold up your mat, or as K, you can stand. You have 3 options, maybe 4 depending on your physicality, okay? Option 1, you can stay in hero pose, knees close together, sitting on the heels. And you might notice that your ankle joints are opening up, toe joints, which is what we try to do in Yin Yoga for the lower meridians. What I'd like to see most of you do is to bring the knees up on top of the block. This produces more weight on the ankles and toe joints so that the result is more pleasure for those joints. Okay? So let's just see where everyone is at this point. Okay, so Tom, no, do not curl your toes. So Tom, do not curl your toes. Very good. Tom, I'm going to give you a different option, but not at this very moment. Let's get started with the timer. Let's begin. The nice thing here, interlace your fingers completely and flip the palms. The nice thing here with this is we can open the lower meridians running through the toe tips, toe joints, ankle joints, knees and hips, stomach, spleen, gallbladder, urinary bladder, kidney and liver meridians. Drop your chin down and pull the arms back. But we now, stay there, can combine that with the upper meridians, fingers and wrists, heart, lungs, small, large intestine, pericardium, and Sanjial meridians. You're fine right there, Barbara. Just breathe. I think you're fine. I think you'll be all right. How's he doing, Dory? These are uncurled.
No, I can't do it.
Okay. How you doing, Tom?
Okay. Can't bend any more than that.
Okay, now you could elect to sit on 2 blocks. Turn them this way. No, stack them. Release your arms. Take a break on your shoulders and sit on them. So you're still getting the knees, okay, or 3. Okay, so take a break. So you're still getting knee, and I didn't mention the knee joints, right? I still need another minute, so hang in there. Let's finish with another variation of shoulder openers, Kathy Miller. Grab opposite elbows, honey, and pull the arms back. And drop the chin down a little bit. You could try 2 blocks, too. Everybody looks fine, right? And like I said, this is why ankle stretches are so popular. They're so pleasant, right? The feet are so grateful. Let's look up to the ceiling for 10 seconds. Keep the elbows interlaced, the elbows grabbed, and look up. Pull the arms back for 4, 3. See, even in this position, you can feel that back too, the spine energized. You can release, draw your weight forward, to table pose. Come off the block. If you're at home, you can use a book. Disappointed, I know, that we had to come out so soon, right? I'm just doing my job. So you can undo that tension by curling the toes. But we're going to move to melting heart, Kate. I think you can make that one. So come back to table pose. Walk your feet toward the back edge of the mat. Make sure you look at your knees and make sure the thighs are 90 degrees to the mat and your hands are underneath the shoulders. Look down at your hands. Walk your hands 2 hand lengths forward and leave them there, and then sit your butt back towards your heels. Drop your head down to the mat or the block. This is called melting heart. Okay, you can do this from standing.
I can do this.
Okay, very good.
I feel pain.
If your elbows are touching the mat, your hands aren't far enough out front. This is a stretch for the shoulder joints, working the upper meridians. Spread the fingers wide. That'll energize the wrist joints as well. Working the heart, lungs, small, large intestines, sangile, pericardium, meridians. Make sure you're breathing deep. Each time you exhale, releasing the heart down. So I was reading to the class out west. We've only been out there 6 classes. We won't be reading the Bhagavad-gita to them for many, 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 many months. But I did read about yoga preventing and correcting the most visible symptom of aging, the rounding of the spine. Now, you're stretching your upper back right now, which is good, as well as that shoulder joint, the most complex joint in the body. It has to rotate 6 different directions. Over the course of a normal lifetime, the spine degenerates, the body becomes shorter. When the back becomes rounded, it compresses the chest, which causes shallow breathing. By limiting the amount of oxygen the cells receive, this old age posture contributes to cardiovascular and other health problems. Yoga counteracts and reverses all of this. Poor posture and the degeneration of the spinal column affect the health of every system of the body. Not only do a rounded back and collapsed chest restrict breathing, but they interfere with the vital flow of blood and the nerve impulses of the internal organs. In this way, poor posture interferes with digestion and elimination. Maintaining the health and integrity of the spine is the central theme of yoga. With regular practice, yoga helps restore the strength and agility of the spine, slowing and even reversing the common degenerative changes often found in people over the age of 50. Let's gracefully work your way forward to Sphinx on your stomach, right? And your forearms, right, Jan? When you get down to your stomach and forearms, look down at your elbows. Make sure they're right directly underneath your shoulders. Make sure your forearms are parallel with each other. And draw your chin level with the floor. Bring in the breath. You could spread your fingers as well here. Sphinx, recommended 20 minutes. We're going to do it for only about 4.5. Each time you exhale, try to push your groin into the mat, lift your heart up and back. Just a subtle move. When the exhale hits, just lift the heart up, push it back. After 1 minute, I'm going to deepen the pose. You should be able to feel at least halfway up your spine right now. See if you can put your powerful consciousness into that middle back, right behind the heart. You might be able to feel the energy in that area. Well done. Open your eyes, look up to the ceiling. 1 minute. Same thing. Each time you exhale, lift that heart up, push it back. And now feel that energy right? You should be able to feel the whole of the spine, a symphony of energy, I like to say. Your spine is singing to you, thank you very much. Let's droop your head and rest your neck for just about 40 seconds. Be patient with your yoga. You're only doing your yoga, no one else's. It's your body. You know it better than anyone. I simply crack the door, you have to go through, but comfortably. If you talk to anyone in the room who's been here, we've been here now a little over 3 years, many will tell you, if you stick with your yoga, it can transform you on many levels, physically, physiologically, and of course psychologically or spiritually is a better word. So let's finish up this sequence as you draw your chin back level with the floor, lift the heart up. For about 45 seconds, find Sphinx again. That exhale, and then lift the heart. In a little while, right, I'm going to cue you to push up to cobra. Cobra, you're going to be straightening the arms and look up to the ceiling with the eyes open. If you're challenged by straightening the arms, then you'll move your fingertips 2 or 3 inches forward. Try to get the arm straight. The reason it's important to get the arm straight so you can support the weight, it's much easier to support when the arms are locked out. Okay? Susan, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Let's join Susan in cobra. Push your arms to straight. Look up to the ceiling, eyes open. 1 minute. Now here, bring your awareness to your lower lumbar spine area. Try to just surrender, let it go, especially on the exhale. Just let it go there. Also, try to get some more height in the shoulders, lifting out of the shoulders. With that little extra height, it gives you a little more pressure. That's a good pressure on that lower back. And just keep surrendering in that area. And hang in there. Got just about 20 seconds to go. Gently drop down to your forearms again and droop your head. When you feel comfortably relaxed enough, you can split your elbows apart, stack your hands underneath your chin, cheek or forehead, and just relax. Okay, nice. Let's push up and back to child's pose. Okay, so Jan, I'm sorry, not Jan, sorry. Kay, you're going to be standing again. Let's come up to kneeling. Now, this time through, we don't want to discount the most pleasurable part of Yin Yoga, of all the practice, toe squats. So curl your toes, right? So you're going to curl them and sit. Yes, that's right, Barbara. The good news, we only go for 2 minutes. No, we're going to take a break halfway through. So from here, you're going to try and find eagle arms. Pull the elbows up toward the chin. Just patiently wait for that minute, enjoying the pleasures of toe squats. We do work with the toe squats and ankle stretches about every 3 or 4 yin classes. So you won't see them in every class. Now, see if you can lay your head back, look up, providing more weight for those toes, thus more pleasure. Five, 4. And stand up, kneel up, sit your butt up, and release the shoulders. Keep your toes curled as we're going to return the other way. Don't you love it? Yeah, there we go. Tom, how's it going back there? Let's do eagle arms, whatever side that you wish is fine. And for 1 more minute, sit back down. And pull the elbows up. Pull them up. So I always do toe squats and ankle stretches with all my classes. This is the 8th time I've taught this class. I love it. But I don't want to not do them because they're so enjoyable, number 1. And number 2, I don't want the practitioners to think that I am trying to get out of it. Hang in there, I need about 10 seconds. So we're stretching the shoulders, upper meridians, and the lowers simultaneously. As you lean forward, coming out, you can uncurl the toes. And once again, I know how your disappointment all over your face. I can see it. The sadness of disappointment. Your counterpose could be a little bit of an ankle stretch, right? You could try that sitting on your heels. But uncurl your toes. But we won't be here long because most of you recovered. Let's find one more 4.5 minute, Barbara, of Sphinx as you come all the way down to your forearms. Look down at your elbows, make sure they're lined up with the shoulders. Level your chin. After this, we're going to begin winding down. So focus here. Level the chin. Same thing as before, right? As you exhale, lift the heart up and a little bit back. So we're ending up with about 9.5 minutes of Sphinx. Recommended 20. And just like before, I'm going to deepen the pose just after the first minute. Oh. Open your eyes, look up to the ceiling. Eyes are open to strengthen the optical nerves. What are the names of those nerves in the ears, Taffy?
Vestibular.
Vestibular nerves. Taffy was asking months ago when I said open your eyes and strengthen the optical nerves. How can that be? How can you strengthen nerves? But then she had an issue with balance. Her doctors gave her some exercises to strengthen the ear, some of the ear nerves, the vestibular nerves, and Taffy is convinced that yes, in fact, you can strengthen nerves. If you're looking up with any force, you're lifting out of then you can strengthen the optical nerves. You can droop your head 40 seconds. Let's finish up. Level your chin out. Take about 45 seconds first to reestablish Sphinx, right? Breath and movement. Try not to slouch in the shoulders. When we get close to that 45 seconds, I'm going to cue you to push up to cobra. Remember, cobra, you're going to attempt to straighten the arms, look up to the ceiling, eyes open. If you can't straighten the arms, then you'll have to move your fingertips forward. Make sure your forearms are parallel with each other and at least shoulder width so you can distribute the weight evenly. Are you ready, Nanette?
I am ready.
Nanette is ready. Let's join her in cobra. Straighten the arms, open the eyes, look up to the ceiling. 1 minute. Same thing as last time. Get some height and try to surrender to that lower back. On the exhale, just let it go. If you can open the eyes so we can strengthen the optical nerves.
Does that mean I won't need glasses anymore?
30 seconds. They do have yogic eye exercises. You probably could find them on YouTube. And there are stories of people improving their vision. I have a book called Yoga for Americans. I believe that's the book where there's one story where a man restored his vision. Optometrists will discount that, but they don't factor in your consciousness, your power of positive thinking. That should go along with it. Let's slowly drop down to your forearms. Droop your head. Nice job. Your mentality is going to be, we're going to begin winding down. The rest of the class won't be as ambitious as it has up to this point. If it works for you, you can split the elbows, Kay. Stack your hands under your chin, cheek, or forehead, and just take a moment to relax. Let's push up and back into child's pose. So we're going to attempt to reset the spine to get it ready. We haven't done many forward bends. We've done a lot of back bending. We've done a little bit of forward bending, but in that half shoelace, half cow's head, but it wasn't as deep. So let's stand up. A little dangling. So bring your feet a little wider than your hips toward the outer edges of the mat. Bend the knees slightly. Grab opposite elbows and just release. Don't hang on to anything if you can help it. This is dangling. 2 minutes. So this is a great way to lengthen the spine without having to do too much work, right? A lot of yin is about passively working with gravity. And after all those back bends, so dangling is a gentle stretch for the lower spine, loosens the hamstrings, warms up the quadriceps, compresses the stomach and internal organs. Of course, that's your breathing. Diaphragm's helping with that as well. Builds strength in the diaphragm while providing a massage for the abdominal organs. Cures, I like the word cures. Cures menstrual cramps, slows your heart rate, rejuvenates spinal nerves. Good for the urinary bladder, meridian, liver, spleen, and kidneys. All right, stand up. Okay, now, before we begin our last sequence of really winding down, you have two choices here. You could find the right width between the feet for a footed squat. This is 2 minutes, so go ahead and see if you can find that. Okay. The other option, if squatting is not going to work for you, you're going to find dragon. Pick a foot out front, bring both arms to the inside, right, and just drop down for the hip of choice. That's fine, Barbara, Annette, Palmer, Kay, as I start the timer. When we get to halftime, this is only 2 minutes, then you'll switch legs. You can keep the knee up or down. It's your choice, Barbara, you're fine. You might be able to get all the way down. So you can bring your feet in a little bit and see if you can get all the way down. You're fine though. So 2/3 of the world, 4 billion people, squat every day to go to the bathroom. Well, according to Buddha, he had 10,000 lifetimes. So if you don't know where you were 300 years ago, you were probably squatting in another lifetime. Of course, I don't know when the toilet was invented. Switch legs. Squats open the hips, strengthen the ankles, release the lower back, can be a great pose to prepare the body for childbirth, Elizabeth. Offers relief to women suffering severe lower back pain due to their menstrual cycle. So women can dangle to cure menstrual pain and then squat after if they have back pain as well. It says here, if uncomfortable, it may be a sign you need to do this more. Good for the liver, kidneys, urinary bladder lines, stomach, spleen, gallbladder, all of the lower meridians. Now, if you're squatting, see if you can bring both hands gently behind you. Without crashing your butt, sit down. If you're in lunge, sit down with your legs in front. So straighten your legs.
Oh, wow. That was worse than the ankle.
Hey, it's on the sheet. All right, let's hug in your right, bend your right leg, hug your right knee in both hands. We're winding down now. But hug the right leg in tight and sit up straight. Okay? Now you choose, leave the left hand on the right leg anywhere you want. I don't care. Leave the left hand on the leg. Bring your right hand behind you, twist right. You can leave the left hand on the lower ankle if you want. And it's just a sloppy twist, which is fine. We're winding down. You can also try for a little more depth if you want to kind of bring the hand up to the right knee or hug it in some manner. But it's up to you. This is 1.5 minutes. So we have just about 7 minutes with 1 minute of rest sprinkled in. So hang in there. Try to get that chin, if you can, behind you. That back right hand can slowly move in such a way that so you can continue to get some depth. Remember, you're fighting a fascia network, that thick covering under the skin. So as the pose gets more mature, you might be able to get another 1/2 inch. Make sure you're breathing nice and deep. Very nice. Let's come out. Now, butterfly, our real forward fold. Bring the bottoms of your feet together. You could also call this bound ankle or cobbler's pose. You're going to bring the feet comfortably in front, but tip the sit bones forward. Now that you're leaning forward, scoop both hands, grabbing the underside of the toes, and pull the feet in a little closer. As you exhale, drop the chin to the chest, and exhale the forehead to the heels or ankles. This is your real counter pose for all the back bends you did. As you might notice, almost immediately, the whole back rounding really nice. Keep it energized. Wait patiently for the exhales. Each time it hits, draw your forehead closer and closer to the toes, or the ankles, or the heels. So every yin class is different. I like to mix it up. All right, you can gently come out. Now, Kathy Miller, you get a full minute to release any tension that you have, right? You can do seated spinal twists, laying down spinal twists, whatever you want to do, arch pose. Soften the face, I saw that, Marie. Keep the face like a poker face. Don't tense the face, right, Marie?
Easy.
Marie said, easy for you to say. That's for our viewers at home. All right, let's go back up to seated. Draw your legs straight ahead. We've still got a little more work to do. 3.5 more minutes, Barbara. Hug in your left bent leg, both hands. As you hug it and pull it tight to the chest, try to sit up straight and tall. Taffy, keep your right hand on the left leg. Left hand behind you, twist left. 1.5 minutes. So it's a sloppy twist. You can keep it that way. I'm fine with it. We're winding down. Make sure you're breathing deep. If you want to deepen the twist, you can draw your hand closer to the top knee, getting a little more leverage. It's up to you. All right, let's finish our last 2 minutes with the same pose we just did before, Kathy McDaniel. Bottom to the feet touching for butterfly. Tip your sit bones forward, honey. Once you get your sit bones forward, scoop both hands underneath the lower part of the toes, and then pull the feet closer to the groin. Drive the chin into the chest. Move the forehead down toward the heels. 2 minutes. And we'll wrap up our Yin class today, Barbara. So we've been doing Yin Yoga about 2.5 years. When I first started teaching, this June it would be 7 years. I didn't know what Yin Yoga was. But I've heard about it, so we tried it. Everybody liked it. So we do it every 3 classes. But only the last 7 months, I'm going to guess, 8 months, we've been offering a guided meditation only after the Yin class, not after the other Hatha Yoga classes. Today's guided meditation coming up soon is by Jan Baker, called Leaf Visualization, where we'll take you on a trip through nature with the trees. If you should lose your way during the guided meditation coming up, it's okay, right? You're still achieving quietude of mind, which is yoga. But we're trying to find enlightenment. As you remember what Yogi Bhajan said, keep up. Enlightenment is hard work. But the quietude of mind refers to another Swami who said, our main duty is to go beyond thoughts. So he's suggesting our main duty is to meditate, to go beyond thoughts. And that's what yoga is. It's a wonderful journey. All right, let's release. Take a full minute, Patrice, to counterpose. Relax any way you want. I'm hoping by the time the minute expires, you're going to be in the second most important pose in all of yoga, your last 5 minutes of rest, where you're comfortably on the mat, your heels are on the mat, straighten your legs.
Oh.
And you're sinking into Mother Earth. But move any way that works for you best as you release any tension, bringing your spine back to equanimity. For the second most important pose in all of yoga, your last 5 minutes of rest. Of course, we all know what the most important pose in all of yoga is, and since the beginning of humanity, is to seek the kingdom within, to discover your true nature, which is going beyond thoughts. So in about 30 seconds, I'm going to begin our guided meditation. So I'm hoping soon you can begin melting into Mother Earth. Let's try to become one with nature, with the naturalness and oneness of all universality. Set your mind free to soar with the birds, float with the clouds, to be the leaf drifting down to earth, to be the lotus flower opening up to behold the sun, to be the tree reaching in mutual adoration to the heavens. Learn to become that which you already are. Let's take a few moments to focus on the breathing. As you inhale, feel the abdominal area lifting up. As you exhale, follow it on the way down. So for a few moments, we're focusing on the breath. The inhale, feel the abdominal lifting up. The exhale, follow it back down. Let's move away from the abdomen. Each time you exhale, feel any remaining tension or stress gently float away on the breath. Let it all go. As you inhale gently, feel a peacefulness and calmness into your being, flowing through the whole body, through the mind, softly calming, quieting. And feel your mind becoming more peaceful as you breathe away all thoughts. Feel it become still as you continue to breathe gently and slowly. Each inhalation and exhalation leaves you feeling quieter and more peaceful. Let's move away from the breathing. No more focusing on the breathing. Picture a door in front of you. It can be any kind of door you wish, any size, any color. Bring your attention to the door. See it slowly swing open for you and invite you to walk through. Go ahead and walk through. There's a beautiful tree in front of you. Any kind of tree you like. See how it glows in the sunlight. It's alive with joy. It's alive with just being. Walk toward it. Reach out and touch the trunk. Feel its aliveness. Look up at the branches and the leaves. See how the leaves flutter to and fro in the breeze. And choose one leaf. Any one will do. Feel yourself floating upward so that you're sitting next to that leaf. Reach out and touch it. What do you feel? Do you feel its life, its joy? How it moves to the wind, up and down, this side and that side? Do you feel how it lifts itself to the sun? Feel the wind caressing you as it caresses the leaf, and the glow of warmth as the sun touches you both. Where does your touch end and the leaf begin? Are you the leaf? Is there any difference? Do you feel as the leaf feels? Have you become the leaf? Sometimes we forget how simply it is to just be as the leaf, the snowflake, as the wind, the clouds, the raindrop. We forget that we and the oneness are one. On your next exhalation, gently go from the leaf. Feel yourself floating down back to your mat. Take one last look at the tree. Feel how it reaches out to enfold you with love. Go back through the door, turn your head and watch the door slowly swing shut. Bring your attention back to your body, to this room, to the mat, to this doorway of life, to being. Remind yourself, my body's relaxed, my mind is peaceful. As you find your way back into this transient world, see if you can gracefully make your way up to a comfortable seated position. If you don't have to use your toes to come up to seated position. How was that? That wasn't bad, huh? If you'd like, you can draw your hands to the heart center. Thank you all, as always, for such a delicious and delightful class, sharing your Yin Yoga with me and with each other. Today's closing, as I read earlier, from Sri Nem Karoli Baba, died in 1973 at the age of 73. The whole universe is your home. All are your family. I hope your weekend is lively and cheerful. Namaste.